Everyone, Zeddy here again with another mini set card review. Our last one for today and our second last one total. We do not have a legendary or an excavate legendary reward to talk about, so that's all coming tomorrow at like 10 a.m. So stay tuned for that. But today we're going to talk about the Hunter and Death Knight and Death Knight Paladin cards. And if you want to win these cards, we're gonna be giving away 3 mini sets out of my pocket. To enter, like and comment in the video, or in the video in the description below, the one that I dislike because the content's terrible. Add me and subscribe to the channel, and by Thursday, if we hit 77,000 subscribers, I'll add another mini set. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. And I just want to ask a quick question right before we get into the cards. Do you like the new thumbnail style we got going on? I'm trying out some new stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. So starting off, we have a brand new Hunter card, Shimmershot, a 1-mana arcane spell. Deal 1 damage. You summon a random minion of that cost. So this can go face, and that's about it. You get a 1-drop. That's whatever, but it'll amplify with spell damage, so you can get a 2, a 3, whatever. And you get like a 2 or 3 drop, you're dealing 3 damage, somebody get 3 cost card, right? That's crazy. And you have Arcane Hunter support right now, where you can hand buff these with your Halderon or whatever that 2-drop's called, and get even more damage, more minions. The unfortunate part for this card, at least for standard players, all that's rotating in like a month or two, right? It's all rotating. I believe it was Lich King cards. So Arcane Hunter gets a really nice boost as it's about to rotate, but it still works with spell damage cards and future support for whatever that could be. It's damage that could go face, it can scale, give you a minion presence. I think even if you play it as deal 1, get a 1-drop, that's fine on average, and then it just gets better from there. I think it's a really solid Hunter card that could see play in standard and wild, because wild has the quest line and it's always looking for more cards that deal damage for cheap, and this just works out really nicely for there. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 in standard and a 3 out of 5 in wild. Like, it might not be the sexiest card in the world, but it has good upside, and it's just base form is fine. Obviously, you'd love to deal 2, right? But then it's just straight up the arcane shot, right? So I think it's fine. Gives you board presence, some removal, and can get really good from there. Next, we have the Mismatch Fossils, a dual class Hunter and Death Knight card. 3 mana, you discover a beast and an undead, swap their stats. So it's the old switcheroo, but you're not drawing it from your deck, so you can't build around to abuse it. Like, get Stone Tusk Boar and Thaddeus and get a 1-mana 11/11 charge and wild. That'd be pretty nutty, but Thaddeus is neutral right now. You can get a cheap beast, and maybe you hit that Thaddeus and boom, you're off to the races, because you'll get 3 beast options and 3 undead options, I believe. So it's a bunch of value, right? 3 mana, get 2 cards. You might be able to abuse it to high roll in some fashion or another. Is that worth playing in your standard deck? I feel like Hunter probably absolutely not. Death Knight, maybe, right? There's better undeads in Death Knight. Plus, if you're playing like Arena Blood Death Knight, although all the good blood cards are rotating, I'm very sad about that, and I want them all to stay. Maybe they'll make new ones. I don't know. Regardless, you could possibly get like some good value, some removal healing, like No Muncher or whatever. I think that's what it's called. There's some decent hits, but overall, I feel like it's just these type of value cards rarely see play. It does have to swap their stats, which can give you some abusability with it. It doesn't swap mana, so it's not like you can cheat something out or anything like that. I don't believe mana is considered stats, right? So I'm giving it 2 out of 5 in standard wild. I think it has some more shots as a Death Knight card, but overall, I don't think it sees play. And then lastly, for the Death Knight and Hunter cards, we have the Obsidian Revenant, a 6-mana 4/6 elemental, the second ever elemental for Death Knight and Hunter, I guess. It has Taunt, Death Rattle. You summon 2 random Death Rattle minions that cost 3 or less. So kind of similar to like Saddle Up, right? Saddle Up, I believe, summons 3 cost death, or just 3 cost beasts or less. I can't even remember, but it's Death Rattle minions, right? Like, it's specifically Death Rattle. So this can be this is sticky in itself, and then the minions that spawn can be sticky as well. This is like a really, really, really good arena card. Super good. It's got taunt, it's sticky, super annoying. Will be a great arena card. Ladder, unless you really probably have like some synergies to build around it. might not be great, but I am thinking maybe like a Rainbow Death Knight. That's a lot of corpses you're going to get out of that, right? You're getting 1 minion here, 2 more, and those Death Rattles might proc more minions. It could draw cards, give you spells, right? It's not always more minions, but could be value in and some corpses. Again, I think this has a better shot as a Death Knight card, although Hunter has had Death Rattle synergies, but it's not like a beast or anything. Again, I'll probably give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. Probably not enough, but really, really good arena card at least. And, you know, that's what we buy cards for, right? To play them in the arena where we can't use our collection. Next, we have the Death Knight Paladin dual class mech, a 3 mana, 3/1 prosthetic hand. It has magnetic, reborn, and can magneticize to mechs or undead. How does that make sense? I don't know, but apparently it works. So you could just hero power, throw this onto your 1/1 undead. It becomes a 4/2 undead in Death Knight, of course. And then it'll come back as a 1/1, right? That'll die at the end of the next turn because, you know, this part has reborn, but it'll attach to the 1/1 becoming that, right? So kind of a unique card. It can make any undead have reborn, right? There's some utilize it. You could give your Thaddeus reborn for 0 mana when it's on odd polarity. So a lot of implications for this card. We saw something similar, right, with Hunter, where they could, like, the 2 mana 3/1, it can magneticize onto beasts and mechs. And that has seen play in like the whole overkill, like the I can't remember what the card was, the mount, whatever, it got nerfed, so I can't remember the name of it. Bigger Jormonger, there we go. And then again, this can be used in Death Knight Paladin. I feel like it's probably more useful in Death Knight, just hitting undeads. That's a lot of like attack boost. It is 3 mana though, unlike the one we're talking about with Hunter, so it's a bit more expensive, but I could absolutely see this slot in, maybe even to like I don't know, just Unholy Death Knight, right? There's no rune requirements. By the way, one of the downsides of the mini sets being dual class, they can only put runes on the one Death Knight card, right? Because you can't give runes to non-Death Knight classes. But regardless, I see this as a playable Death Knight card because of the reborn aspect of it. Can be really good. It's more corpses and maybe even more beneficial. You know, the base version, whatever that gets reborn, could be really powerful, possibly on your Maw and Paw. Even give your Maw and Paw reborn. There you go. And in Paladin, I just feel like there's better magnetics, although reborn again is relevant. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 in Standard for the Death Knight Paladins. I think it has a shot. And in Wild, I'll give it a 2 because Death Knight barely sees play there. And when it sees play, it's usually like even or just not really this. But really kind of interesting, cool card. And will be interesting to see what happens giving magnetic to undeads and also giving them reborn. It's just really kind of out there. Next, we have the Mining Casualties, a 2 mana spell again for Death Knight and Paladin. You summon 2 1/1 Silverhand Recruits. For some reason, Death Knight can summon Silverhand Recruits, but Death Rattle, you summon a 1/1 Frail Ghoul. So you also get, you know, both hero powers coming together for 2 mana. So for 2 mana, you get double the hero power plus double the hero power, right? So that's a lot of stats. It's a 2 mana 4/4 with proactive abilities, right? These, when the recruit dies, you get a 1/1 charge that can hit in and do stuff. It's a lot of, again, a lot of corpses for Death Knight. I could see this being a rainbow card, an unholy card, really sticky. You could give it reborn, I guess. The Frail Ghoul, you could give reborn the next turn when it comes out. And it's important to note that if your opponent kills your recruit on their turn, the 1/1 will stay until your turn, right? Like, it doesn't just die. It'll be there, and then at the end of your turn, when you take over next turn, then that ghoul will die if it survives. So you could still use it. I guess, again, it's a really solid card, not super sexy, nothing crazy, but I think Death Knight, Paladin, both could use it. Recruits are good. Bodies are good. It's a lot of stats for 2 mana. Like, it's actually pretty absurd how much stats it is for 2 mana. Like, it is a 2 mana 4/4 at the end of the day, right? So, but again, the stats, it's just 1/1s. It's not crazy. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, a 3 out of 5 in Wild, where maybe even Paladin, maybe even Death Knight could play it. There's certainly possibilities for it, but again, pretty cool card, and I just like the fact that you could get both hero powers in both classes. That's pretty cool. And then lastly, we have Rainbow Death Knight support, the Quartzite Crusher, a 4 mana 3/3 weapon. You have to have a blood rune and a frost rune, so you cannot play it in triple blood. it's like Triple Blood's going away. It feels like it's going away. It makes me so sad. But you can play it in Rainbow, Double Blood and Frost, or Double Frost and Blood. And there was a double like Blood deck going with Monpaw lately. Anyways, it has Lifesteal, and it freezes any character damaged by your hero. That includes the enemy hero. So they're playing like a weapon-based deck. Smack him in the face. You hit them for 3, you heal for 3, you freeze them. That's really good. That's just 9 healing, 9 damage, possibly 3 freezes. Maybe you don't kill something. Thing is, if you're not killing it, then you're taking maybe extra damage or whatever. But I feel like this is going to be a playable card. It's going to be a frustrating card, right? Healing, freezing. You can discover this too off that 1 mana Rune of Darkness, and then it's a 4/4 weapon. If you spend the corpses, of course, and then that's even kind of nuttier, right? A lot more healing, same 1 more freeze. That's really good. I think it's a really solid card. I think this sees play. It's discoverable as a blood card. It's discoverable as a frost card. So if you're playing triple frost, triple blood, you can find this card. I'm gonna give it a 4 to 5 in standard, 3 to 5 in wild. I just think it's a really solid card, and again, Rainbow will probably really enjoy this one. So again, that's all the cards for today. Tomorrow is the last of the cards. We're getting the 4th legendary, and we're getting Excavate Treasure legendary rewards, whether there's 2 of them or they're dual class. We'll find out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.